There's a kind of pain that doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in. It starts with a small moment you barely notice at first. A promise somebody made too easily. A look in their eyes that felt warm enough for you to drop your guard. A conversation that made you think, maybe this person is different. Maybe this time you don't have to be so careful. And then later, usually much later, you sit there replaying everything in your head, realizing the warning signs were there the whole time. You saw them, you felt them, but you wanted peace more than truth. So you ignored your own instincts and called it trust. A lot of people think trust is this beautiful thing, pure, noble, proof that you have a good heart. And sometimes it is. But sometimes trust is just hope wearing a blindfold. Sometimes it's loneliness making bad decisions look reasonable. Sometimes it's exhaustion. You've been carrying everything alone for so long that the second someone sounds sincere, you want to believe them. Not because they earned it, because you're tired, because you want relief, because it feels nice for 1 second to think maybe somebody won't disappoint you. That's how it happens. Not because you're stupid, not because you're weak, because you're human. And being human means you want connection. You want honesty. You want to believe that when someone smiles at you, they mean it. When they say, "I've got you," they're not just saying the right words at the right time. You want to believe people are as real as they sound. But life has a brutal way of educating you. It teaches you through betrayal, through inconsistency, through mixed signals, through people who know exactly how to say what you need to hear while having no intention of becoming what they pretend to be. And the worst part isn't even what they did. It's what happens inside you after. That quiet shift. That moment when you start questioning your own judgment. You stop asking, "Why would they do that to me?" And you start asking, "Why did I let them get that close?" That question hurts more. Because when somebody lies to you, that's their character. But when you ignored yourself to keep them around, that stays with you. That follows you into your next friendship, your next relationship, your next opportunity. It sits in the background and whispers, "Don't be stupid again." And now you're not just healing from what they did. You're healing from the version of you that kept handing trust out too early, like it was kindness. I think a lot of people know this pain. Not just in love, in life. It happens with friends too. The kind who act loyal when things are easy, but disappear the moment your life gets complicated. The kind who laugh with you in public and talk around you in private. The kind who want access to your energy, your advice, your time, your support. But when it's your turn to need something real, suddenly they're hard to find. It happens in family too. Sometimes the people who taught you to keep the peace also taught you to ignore your own boundaries. So you grow up confusing tolerance with maturity. You think being the bigger person means accepting what hurts you over and over again without saying anything. It happens at work. Somebody sees your effort, your loyalty, your willingness to go the extra mile, and instead of respecting it, they start depending on the fact that you don't know how to say no. They call you valuable while draining everything out of you. They praise you just enough to keep you useful. That happens everywhere. And after enough of those experiences, something in you changes. Not in a loud way, not in some dramatic movie scene. Quietly. You start noticing things faster. You hear the difference between someone who's genuinely interested in you and someone who's just curious enough to use you. You notice how some people only reach out when they need comfort, attention, money, validation, or help. You notice how quickly words fall apart when they aren't backed by behavior. You notice who respects your silence and who only likes you when you're easy to access. That's what pain does when it stops destroying you and starts teaching you. It sharpens your vision. And honestly, that lesson usually comes late. Most of us were not raised to be careful with trust. We were raised to be polite, to be understanding, to give people chances, to not assume the worst, to not make things awkward, to not seem cold, to not seem difficult. So we learn how to make excuses for people before we learn how to protect ourselves from them. We tell ourselves, maybe they're just busy. Maybe they didn't mean it like that. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm expecting too much. Maybe I should just be patient. And maybe sometimes that's true. But sometimes being patient is just delaying the truth. Sometimes being understanding is how you stay stuck in places that are slowly killing your peace. Sometimes giving grace becomes self-abandonment. That's a hard sentence to accept when you've built your whole identity around being the one who understands everybody else. Because people like that, they don't usually break all at once. They wear down. They become experts at swallowing discomfort. Experts at reading energy and pretending they didn't feel it. Experts at making themselves smaller just to keep relationships from falling apart. And one day they wake up exhausted, not because they gave too much love, but because they gave too much access to people who never deserved that level of trust in the first place. That's the part nobody talks about enough. Trust should not be automatic. It should not be handed out just because someone is charming, emotional, familiar, attractive, confident, wounded, funny, or good at saying the right things. A sad story is not proof of good character. Chemistry is not proof of safety. Attention is not proof of care. And words, no matter how beautiful, are not proof of intention. That lesson is ugly when you first learn it, because it makes you look back at situations you defended with your whole chest and realize you were protecting illusions. You were arguing for people who had already shown you who they were. You were staying loyal to potential, believing in versions of people that only existed in your head, trusting promises that had no structure under them. That realization can make you angry at them, yes, but also at yourself. You think about the nights you lost sleep trying to understand someone who was never confused. They knew exactly what they were doing. You think about the effort you poured into fixing what they kept casually damaging. You think about how many times your body knew before your mind was ready to admit it. Because that's another truth people learn too late. Your body notices before your ego does. Your chest gets tight. Your stomach feels off. Your energy drops around certain people. You start rehearsing conversations, second-guessing simple things, feeling drained after small interactions. But instead of trusting that signal, you call yourself sensitive, or dramatic, or damaged, or paranoid. No. Sometimes your nervous system is just honest before your heart is. And if you've gone through enough disappointment, learning to listen to that honesty becomes one of the most important things you ever do. Not so you can become cold. Not so you can stop loving people. Not so you can walk around assuming everybody is out to get you. but so you stop volunteering your peace to anyone who knows how to perform sincerity for 5 minutes. There's a difference between being open-hearted and being unguarded. A huge difference. One is strength, the other is exposure. Real maturity is knowing you can still be kind without being naive. You can still be generous without being easy to exploit. You can still believe in people without trusting them too quickly. That last part matters. Too quickly. Because trust isn't supposed to happen in a rush. Anything rushed usually skips the part where truth gets tested. Real trust takes time. It watches patterns. It notices how someone acts when they're frustrated, inconvenienced, jealous, corrected, or told no. It pays attention to whether their energy stays the same when they no longer need something from you. That's where truth lives. Not in the first impression, not in the charm, not in the intensity, in the pattern. Patterns are honest. Anyone can act right for a week. Some people can do it for months, but eventually who they are leaks through. Inconsistency leaks through. Entitlement leaks through. Disrespect leaks through. Manipulation leaks through. And if you stop romanticizing people long enough to observe them clearly, you'll save yourself from a lot of unnecessary pain. That's one of the hardest transformations, though, seeing clearly. Because seeing clearly means giving up the fantasy. It means accepting that some people were never misunderstood. They were just selfish. Some people were never going through a lot. They were just careless with your heart. Some people didn't accidentally keep crossing your boundaries. They just didn't respect them. Clear vision is painful, but confusion is more painful in the long run. Confusion keeps you attached to what's hurting you. It keeps you explaining away behavior that should have been enough for you to step back. It keeps you negotiating with your own standards just to avoid being alone. And that fear of being alone, that's what traps a lot of people. They trust too fast because distance feels worse than disappointment. They let people in too quickly because empty space scares them. Silence scares them. Starting over scares them. So they settle for almost, for inconsistency, for weird energy, for half-truths, for people who make them work too hard just to feel secure. But eventually life gets tired of watching you betray yourself. So it sends the lesson harder. A betrayal that shakes you. A lie you can't explain away. A moment so clear that even your hopeful side goes quiet. And after that, you're different. Still good, still human, still capable of love. But different. Now you ask more questions. Now you watch more closely. Now you take your time. Now you let people reveal themselves, instead of rushing to fill in the blanks with your own optimism. That's not bitterness. That's wisdom with scars on it. Some people will call that guarded. Let them. They didn't sit with you when you were trying to figure out how somebody who claimed to care could move so casually. They didn't feel what it's like to realize you were giving honesty to someone who was giving strategy. They didn't feel the embarrassment of defending someone who was quietly disrespecting you the whole time. That kind of pain changes the way you move. And maybe it should. Maybe some lessons are supposed to leave a mark, not to harden your heart forever, but to make sure it stops opening for people who only know how to take. Because your peace is not some cheap thing. Your trust is not a free sample. Your energy is not public property. People should earn access. And that doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you awake. The truth is, a lot of damage in life doesn't come from evil people. It comes from careless people. Immature people, inconsistent people, people who don't know themselves, so they end up wounding everyone who gets close to them. And if you're not careful, you'll spend years trying to heal people who never even admitted they were bleeding on you. That's another trap, trying to understand people so deeply that you end up excusing what should have disqualified them from your inner world. Yes, people have trauma,